Fight Fiend Forecast. I'm Joseph, the host, back for the Props and Parlays show. And I'm going to give you the forecast of the week to start it off. And then I'll give you my prelim forecast and my main card forecast. Two props that I have high confidence in. And then we'll end it off with the locks of the week. 3 locks that I have 100% confidence in. They're going to get the dub, and I'm getting back in the win column along with the forecast of the week here. I'm looking at them right now. I'm going to share it with you in just a second. We also got some underdogs barking, I believe. So I got one locked in as dog of the week. I got a couple honorable mentions as well, I guess. So make sure to smash the like button before we get going. Suplex the subscribe button if you're new. You're just tuning in. This is the first show for you, and the Fight Fiend forecast is new to you. You know, I'm not some Satanist. I'm just here to give my picks and give you my leans, some of my best bets. You don't have to agree with each and every pick or bet. I'm not going to have each and every one right, but hopefully we make profit and keep the peace in the comments as well. We're not going to bash each other up. It's us against the bookies, and we're looking to turn them to mash. That's what we want to do. We're not going to beat each other up, anything like that. We're only here to beat up the bookies. And on Fatal's birthday weekend, he just has to be the forecast of the week. He also commented, hashtag forecast of the week on the Full Card Prediction Show, given his most confident prop at plus money. Like I said, it's Fatal's birthday weekend, and he's ready to bend the bookies. So I'm riding with him. Cheaty, Bang Bang by KO at plus 130. It has to be an honorable forecast of the week to get us back in the win column. Looking up here, we lost our last 2 with Steven Wynn by a decision. Dreadstocks gave a go with Thiago Moises by submission. But before those 2 losses, I got baked in the sun, and my man Ona made the forecasters some money with Sean O'Malley by a decision. Plus 110. What a sharp read there. He said the intros are getting hype, and he's baked, ready to make some money. Hopefully he's ready to make some money on this card. The intro wasn't that hype. I'm getting right to it on this card. Gave you the forecast of the week. Cheaty by KO. Now, for this fight here, I'm seeing a lot of line movement come in on the Reese's Pieces side. Reese McKee. It's probably because Cheaty lost his last 3 fights. He's been knocked out in 2 of them. And yeah, that's just what makes sense to me. If anybody knows anything different, let me know in the comments below. Much appreciated here. I don't know everything. I'm not some wizard. Just here to give my picks, right? But in this fight here, all hell is going to break loose. Cheaty Bang Bang, coming off 3 losses, he's going to be pissed off. That's what I think. He's obviously cutting down to 170 from 185, so this was a fight that I really had to watch them face off and weigh in before I did the show. The show's a little bit late, and the dog was running around barking, being loud, so that's a sign the underdog's probably going to be live. My dog of the week, I think it's going to cash in. I have high confidence already, but the fact that Benson's wound up, and last week we had some false alarms, this week we have to cash. And, you know, Cheaty Bang Bang, talking about the forecast of the week, we're getting a little off track here, let's be honest. McKee was cut before. They're not afraid to cut him again. They're probably lining Cheaty up for the win here, get him back in the win column. And at the face-offs, he's pissed off, ready to go. This is a marvelous matchmaking fight, and I gotta go with my guy, Cheaty. A little worried, coming off 3 losses. 2 of them by knockout. Big weight cut. But after seeing the weight cut, like I said, that's why I'm a little delayed doing the show. I had to see this guy weigh in. He looks fine. He looks phenomenal. And I'm confident the forecast of the week can shine. We're probably going to need some sunscreen. A lot of people might get burned on this one. And I'm seeing a lot of line movement on this fight for the Reese McKee side, though. I'm going to post the fight day odds and all the changes here tomorrow, but I can show you the line movement tracker right now for everybody tuning in. You probably appreciate seeing this line movement, so get a good eye on this. Get a good read on what's going on here. Some free access to my line movement tracker. Hopefully it does everybody well. It's just a little concerning seeing that much money come in on Reese's Pieces, because I'm not choosing him to win. I'm pretty confident that Bang Bang makes a big statement in the first round, gets back in the win column. A lot of these are going to be on the Reese McKee side. He's down to 210 now, not 225. A lot of line movement. Last week we seen it with Yusuf Zalal. It was correct. But if Reese McKee's the public underdog, right? This is a card where a lot of people are going to be chasing underdogs. There's a couple close fights, a couple fights priced a little inaccurately. People are going to try to take advantage of the underdog. Or some people are going to be overly confident in some favorites. As you can see, the line movement tracker has a lot going on this week. A lot going on. It's time to get into my forecast of the week now. My prelim prop, my main card prop. We can call it the prelim forecast, main card forecast. Sounds a little bit better for the show here. I got 2 plays. I'm pretty confident in them. And one of them, Giraffe Goon, gave it as her forecast of the week. But she just gave it by KO. I'm giving it by first round KO. This fighter's in a rematch fight. I'm confident he's going to win. It's a coin flip fight, though. We have to be a little bit careful. Like I said, it's a rematch fight. He lost his first one. And the fact that we're getting so much value on the money line is a reason behind me locking this in. I'm going to trust my instinct. I'm going to grab my balls and throw them on the wall. Hopefully they don't get hurt. Like I said, he lost the first fight against this guy. But the pleasure man, you know, ain't going to hurt us in this one, I don't think. He ain't going to do anything special against Ibo Aslan, who has many first-round finishes by KO. And in the first fight, if you watch it on YouTube, it looked like he was doing some good work with the heavy leg kicks on the feet. He's already a monster, you know that if you watched him on the Dana White Contender Series, throwing punches in bunches, going through the opponent's guard, and not stopping. He went right through him. Constantly was throwing bombs. And in this fight, the pleasure man's in trouble. He's in trouble. I'm locking in Ibo Aslan. High confidence. You already know it's a KO, and it's in the first round. Nothing's going to change here. He won his last 4 fights all in the first round. I believe in him. He's coming from Turkey. He has the whole country behind him. I'm going to support him in this fight. Make him the lock of the week. I ain't going to be a little, you know what, in this fight, I'm going to trust myself. In a coin flip fight, I'm locking it in. I'm going to show and prove to all the fight fiends that I still got it. You know, I'm still locked in. I can still do this. Just going through a little bit of struggles right now with, I don't know what, not having success with the locks. You know, Billy Q, but it happens. We all have those little stints. We're going to figure it out. You got the prelim prop, Ibo Aslan KO. It was sitting at plus 200. 3x on that right there. I'm going to have some money on it. There's no doubt. Absolutely no doubt. When I give out the prelim prop, the main card prop, the forecast of the week, they are guaranteed bets for me. So if they don't hit, you already know I lost money. There's no sense going to the comments and giving me heat. You can if you want to. It's not going to hurt my feelings. I'm going to bounce back and make money. I'm not going to consistently lose my money. I'm not going to be a fool. I will win. I will be consistent enough to bring this forecast to the motherfucking top. I'm ready to go, and I hope you guys cash with me. That's why I'm here doing this. I want you guys to cash in. I want to help you guys out, pay some loans off, get some stuff that you guys always wanted, you know, a fancy car. Hopefully we can start wagering higher and winning more, but we got to lock in. Be consistent. That's all what this is about. We're going to figure things out together. Some people aren't going to agree with the picks. That's cool. I might have to prove some of you is wrong, but we got a main card prop here. And Nursultan Ruzaboyev in the very first round is probably one of my most confident picks on this entire card. We're going to see how it goes. Some people might really agree with this. At plus 155, we're going to get our value. It's going to be a decent single bet. This play here, without a doubt, should cash. I mean, Nursultan Ruzaboyev has 33 wins, 11 by KO, 9 of them in the first round. He has 20 submissions, 15 of them in the first round. Only been to a decision twice and won. 5 submissions were in the second round and 2 knockouts were in the third round. So he can get the finish late. I think it's going to come early. He looks like a beast. And when I watched them face off, I was in the shed watching them face off. I had the whiteboard there and I seen some people weigh in and face off with their flag. So I was writing them all down. So clearly one of them was Ruzaboyev coming out with his Uzbekistan flag there. He's definitely a lock, in my opinion. it's definitely time to lock in as well. We can't let fighters that are going to dominate just dominate and us not capitalize. This guy in his last fight fought a guy that was 10-0, and he was coming off a very credible knockout win, Bruno Fiorot, who knocked out the RoboCop. That proves to me he's no one-trick pony. He could be a problem in the UFC. And Dumas, where's he training? He's not training at Renzo Gracie, Philly, right? I think he's training in his backyard or in his basement with his girlfriend. In February, he had some legal trouble there, battery charges as well. He's another fighter on this card that is going through some criminal issues or went through some criminal issues. And I don't know if he's locked in. Like, I don't think he's ready to go here. He's ready to fight. He's a street fighter. He's always ready for a scrap. But is he ready to win as a dog? He's obviously priced as a pretty big underdog here, Cedric Dumas. Bookies are doubting him. I'm doubting him. I've said it on the Full Card Prediction Show. I am a fan of SD Dumas. I don't think he's a terrible fighter. He does probably belong in the UFC, but in this fight here, fighting such a dangerous opponent that already proved to me that he's a problem. He's going to be a problem in the UFC. He might prove me wrong. He might, but I doubt it. And I'm going pretty heavy on this single bet for Ruzabov in the first round. At plus 155, it's the lowest price fighter to win in round 1 on this entire card. And I'm going to go to my platinum picks once again, so listen up. How many finishes am I forecasting on this card here? Like last week I had a lot of decisions, and now I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 finishes. So it's going to be a very exciting night in the city. Hopefully we can cash on this one. Now I got the locks of the week. What else do I need to talk about? You got Ibo Aslan. And I mean, what better way to get revenge on the bookies than locking in this guy here who's going to look to get revenge of his own against the Pleasure Man. I mean, Pleasure Man just lost in the very first round to Tyson Pedro, who retired. Are we that confident? Coming off 3 losses, the Pleasure Man's pissed off, ready to go? I don't think so. I don't think so. I think he's ready to go back to a regional scene, fight promotion, and try to get back in the win column there. Ibo Aslan is smiling, going up to the weigh-ins and face-offs. He's looking good. And when you watch Anton Turkalj weigh in and face-off, he's straight-faced. He doesn't want to be there. And I think he's getting slept. So long, Pleasure Man. It was great seeing you. It was. You looked a lot more confident in your first face-off against Ibo Aslan. So you're kind of selling yourself out here. You're a big underdog. It's time to go, buddy. It's time to go. You're terrible. On the feet, you're terrible. He can't strike with Ibo Aslan. The heavy leg kicks are coming. The first round KO is coming. First round KO is definitely a single bet for me on Ibo Aslan. I forecast this lock here, gobbles him up, gets him out of there in the very first round. Go rewatch their first fight if you don't agree with me on YouTube for yourself. It's right there. The tape study is literally, figuratively, sitting right there on YouTube. Just search it up. They fought before. Go see what happened in the first round. And yeah, maybe he gasses out and gets submitted again, but I don't think so. Hopefully not. We got hell breaking loose now with the second lock. The one I didn't say, but obviously Loughran is a lock. He's fighting a tough guy who lost on the Dana White Contender Series. It's safe to say Loughran is a lock. And his name's Keelan. Not Kalen. I don't know. I'm a donk. I'm a don myself. Yeah, I'm a don, not a donk. I'm an absolute don calling him Kalen. So disrespect. I'm sorry. And these were the only other 2 fighters to walk out with a flag. So we got Ibo Aslan, Keelan Loughran, and Nursultan Ruzaboev plus 225. I'm very confident the locks cash. I'm going heavy. I'm not afraid. I'm betting enough that I'm not afraid if I lose, it's not going to hurt me, right? So that's what you need to do. Don't be betting what you can't lose. If you can't afford to lose 10 units, 20 units, don't place the bet. If you're not confident in the bet, right? If you didn't think Ibo was going to win, let's say, and I just convinced you, don't go as heavy as me. Maybe put a little sprinkle down, but if you're already confident in Ibo and Loughran and Ruzaboev and I just boosted your confidence up, you know, you can tail me. You can join my Patreon, absolutely not free. $5 a month, pretty cheap though. and you'll see my unit size, right? A unit size for me is 1 unit for $10. It's going to increase because we're going to start cashing in huge here. But like 10 units, 20 units is $100, $200. Max bet is like 30 units for me right now. Safe to say $300 is enough to put down if I have a $1,000 bankroll. And like I just said, the bankroll will go up. I know it's going to go up, and we're going to start cashing in big because I'm consistently winning, making the money right back, and we're not far off some of these big parlays I'm going to give out. You know, the last couple weeks it's been rough, but I've been consistent, and the longevity of the last year has been great. I hit, 10 locks in a row at one point. At one point, I did lock in and hit 10 locks in a row. Doubled everybody's money up as well. I was doing super good. Let's say that. I was hot. Steaming hot. And I can't get too confident when I am hot. I just got to be consistent. Continuously put in the work. And make sure that when I'm making the bet, I know it's going to hit. Right? Like I said, if you don't think these locks are going to hit, you think they're going to lose, you weren't picking them to win, you don't have to take the bet, right? I'm not here to change your pick or convince you to stay away. If you're confident in the pleasure man and you're certain he's going to win, take it. If you like the underdog against Kalen Loughran, coming off a loss on the Contender Series, you think he has a chance at 4-1 as an underdog? You're going to get paid. You're going to look smart as hell. So take the shot. If that's your instinct, go for it. But these are my 3 locks. These are my 3 most confident picks on the entire card. So let me know in the comments below if you like the locks. I'd love to hear from you guys. And I need to know if I need to smarten up, if I'm doing good, or if I'm just terrible. And if I'm terrible, I'm not going to get the subscribers. I'm not going to get the likes. Won't get the comments either. And that is just it. So hopefully everybody enjoys the video, enjoys the picks, and I can turn this boat around. And rather, if you're on board or not, the Fight Fiend forecast is full steam ahead with the dogs of the week. My most confident one, I'll give it to you after the honorable mentions. I'm bringing out the notes for this one. I got to back up what I say here. The train is leaving the station, and I got to give you the information. Nate the Train Landwehr is gonna arrive in Atlantic City and potentially ruin some parlays. I think he's got that junkyard dog in him. He's always coming for a fight. He's not gonna back down from anyone. I think his chin can hold up in this fight. I think his striking defense is good enough. He's gonna be shooting takedowns as well. Jamal Emmers could get some takedowns of his own, have some control. He's a black belt. But Nate Landwehr is so relentless. He's going to be pushing forward with high volume. I got to trust in that killer instinct that Nate Landwehr has to offer here. I think he's going to get a finish. I think it's coming in the 2nd or 3rd round. I think the fight will play out a little bit different than Emmers as a 3-1 favorite. I think it's incorrect. I'm not standing for it. I'm jumping on board. Nate the Train. He's leaving the station. And at this price, I mean, I might have some money on it. But with me being a little bit biased, I should stay away. A lot of people I trust are on the Emmers train, and I could collide with them and get smashed. So you got to know when to stay away. Sometimes you can make money not betting on fights because it is too close. I'm talking about the next honorable mention, underdog. I like Verna Jandaroba. We talked about it. Like, I was originally on her. I'm not choosing her to win. That's not my final pick. I'm just giving you a warning. Lupi Godinez should win. A lot of people are picking her to win. She made a good change going to train with Alexa Grasso, Diego Lopez. She shouldn't be the same Lupita Godinez that she used to be. She should be improved. Her striking accuracy should be better. Her volume and her pressure should be a lot better. She should make this close enough to win. It's going to be close, regardless what you think. It's going to be a close fight. It's a women's fight. Both these women have fought high-level competition. Verna's 5 years older, 3-inch reach advantage. She's underrated. She's not going to be the most favored girl in the women's division, but she's going to fight for your money, and she's a good underdog to pick this week. That's why I was on the Virna Jandiroba side. She doesn't have a great striking accuracy at 40%, or she doesn't land much. 2.3 strikes a minute. I think Lupi Godinez is just improved enough to win this fight. 5 years younger, having a better gas tank, training with great partners as well. I already mentioned that. But her strikes per minute, I'll mention this. 4.3 strikes a minute at 50%. She's damn good on the feet. She's dominant on the ground, 3.4 takedowns at 45%. Virna Jandiroba's percentage is 40% as well. Pretty well the same, but she only averages 2. She doesn't have as much volume with her takedowns or her strikes. But she has a great defense. If she makes Lupi be inaccurate and not get any takedowns and not land much on the feet, Virna could land just enough to win a split decision. That is what I was thinking originally, a split decision for Virna Jandiroba, but I'll switch my pick with low confidence. I have medium here, but it's really not medium confidence. Women's fight, it's a low confidence pick. Lupi Godinez by a decision. Lupi, Lupita, whatever you want to call her. Godinez, the Mexican grit, should edge it out against the Brazilian, whatever you want to call her. Brazilian beauty. The line movement tracker, I talked about it on the show. I'll show you it again here before I give you my dog of the week. Because my dog of the week isn't even a dog of the week anymore. It's a coin flip. It's officially a coin flip. And he's not plus 110. So I had a sharp read going with this guy. Battle tested. United States Air Force's combat controller. He's going to survive anything and everything this bazooka attacks with. He's going to serve his country against a gruesome criminal who needs to be taught a lesson here if he has not been taught a lesson yet. He just got finished to Jamal Emmers in the first round. You already know who I'm talking about. Dennis Bazooka. Leaving a bad taste in my mouth. Setting someone up on Tinder and then ambushing him, stealing his wallet, putting him in the hospital. Unfortunately for Bazooka, in this fight, he might be in the hospital bed afterwards here. Maybe not, though. It could be pleasant. Connor Matthews averages a lot of takedowns. He's a dominant grappler. The submission's sitting at plus 650. Could be worth a little splash there. If Connor Matthews is doing his tape study and diving deep here, Bazooka was taken down 4 times on 5 attempts to Sean Woodson, who's a striker. And some people might think because he's at Cerro Longo MMA, he's with Weidman, Sterling, Merab. They obviously thought he's not that bad. He has a chance, but he got taken down 4 times on 5 attempts, controlled for over 5 minutes against a striker. On the ground, I don't think he's very good. No matter what, I trust this dog to turn the Bazooka to mash. So, it's worth a splash. Definitely worth a splash. At a coin flip fight now, though, and I'm sorry for that. I didn't think he was going to flip to maybe a favorite. I didn't think the fight was going to turn to a coin flip at plus 110, and seeing a lot of people forecasting Dennis Bazooka. I thought Connor Matthews would stay an underdog. Unfortunately not, though. I don't have many other confident underdog plays on this card, and that's all I got for the dogs. There might be some others barking, so sorry if I missed any, but I don't know. Kyle Nelson, my Canadian, him to win a decision could get greasy. Likely not going to happen, though. I mean, so many people are picking Bill Algeo. High confidence play there, and without a doubt he should win. But if it gets close, and if a call gets made that is greasy, seeing so much money on Algeo, you never know. Underdog could cash here. Not many people are confident in him, and he could destruct and destroy, just obliterate many parlays. If Kyle Nelson wins, I mean, it's going to be devastating for many people. Hopefully he doesn't win, my Canadian. I'm going against him. pretty high confidence. Any other underdogs we want to talk about? Joaquin Buckley was a dog at the start of the week. Now it's a coin flip fight. I'm still going Vicente Luque here. I think he's a more experienced, more seasoned fighter. I don't think this is a level of competition that Joaquin Buckley can beat. Obviously, him opening as a favorite, and then now it being a coin flip fight, it makes you think, it makes you wonder here. Now, last week, Yusuf Zalal, we can keep talking about that, but I don't see an injury. I believe Billy Q was hurt. Vicente Luque, now that we mention injury, he did have a previous injury, and it wasn't good. It was a brain bleed against Jeff Neal. That's obviously worrisome. He doesn't love to strike. He's fighting a striker. I understand why people would go Joaquin Buckley here, but I don't see it. He's a showman. And the showcase cards here are going to be showing off. It's not going to be Joaquin Buckley. I don't think so. Malkoun, he's another fighter that I like on this card to win. I don't know if I'd parlay it. It's just a pick that I really like. Coming off a DQ where he was dominating. Regardless if he made a mistake, he hit the back of the head or not, he was one of the biggest favorites on that card. And the ref was pretty quick to call that fight off. And Brundage was ready to go after the fight was called off. So, a little bit of a soy boy there. Brundage, he's not the best fighter, and he doesn't have a fighter's mentality. Malkoun does. He should come out here and get the win, take his anger out on Andre Petroski, get the dub for the Australians. Let's just hope he doesn't get KO'd, though, because Phil Haas shot his lights out, and it didn't look good. And Petroski is a beast. He hits hard. That's why it's not worth parlaying. It's going to be a fight that you do not want to miss. Don't miss it. Those monsters are going to throw down. It's going to be exciting. And it's not misleading having these showcases here. I collect UFC cards. I'm going to do some UFC card giveaways in the future. UFC 300 will be the first giveaway that I do for UFC cards. So I'm going to choose 1 or 2 cards to give away at UFC 300 on this show. All what the people got to do is give a 3-leg parlay. The only thing I'm going to require is you have to give the method of victory for each fighter. 3 fighters to win and how they're going to win. And I said I wasn't going to do a Parlay Parfait. I've been rambling on. But I'll give you 3 method of victories on this card that I have high confidence in. And you can put them in a treble bet. My boy Frank Bush, he said enough with the parlays, right? You're giving 1 parlay, they're not hitting. But even though I go through the whole fight card, give you information on each and every fight, do a quick recap. Maybe it's too long of a listen for 1 bet. I'll just cook up something real fast. I'm going to look at the Platinum Picks. These are on Patreon for only $5 a month. Hit the link in the bio below. I'm going to pull 3 outcomes. You put them in a parlay, and we'll see what it is. So I'm going to start it off by opening up Bet365. And I'm going to do some bets on Underdog Fantasy as well. So use code FightFiend. Get that offer so you can double your deposits and have even more to play with. These Underdog Fantasies are pretty fun to play with. I'm going to have a couple parlays in Patreon for $5 a month. And I have free bets as well in Discord, so Underdog Fantasy is coming your way, Fight Fiends, that are in Discord for absolutely free. Keep your eyes to the sky. The odds might be a little bit different, but we're going to cash in together here. First fight that I'm going to tag on this parlay, Ibo Aslan, just taken by KO. Could be in the first, start of the second, could even be late in the 3rd round. You never know. You just don't know. It's MMA. Anything can happen. And this pick could just not hit, so I'm going to give you 2 treble bets. How about that? 2 treble bets for the show. Started off with Ibo Aslan, plus 105 for the KO. Another knockout that I like. We're going to go with Chidi Bang Bang Njokuani, the showcase card. We're going to do a treble bet, the Knockout Kings. And we're going to put a unit down, $10. 2 units, $20. We're not going too heavy. We're just looking to play it smart with the bankroll, get some profit here. The Knockout Kings are going to make a big bang. And the next knockout artist, maybe it's Julio Arce. Maybe it's Nate Landwehr. Maybe it's Nursultan Ruzoboev. But I got to think it's Bruno Silva. I would have to say so. Against Chris Weidman, his leg is compromised. Very compromised. He has a little bit of rust. He's getting old. He's slowing down. Bruno lost his last two. He looked decent against Share a Bullet. I think he's coming out here and getting a first-round finish. If you go look at Bruno's last couple wins, I will right now quick, they're in the first round. He's not messing around when he wins. He gets it done in the very first round, and he doesn't drag the fight out. Now, maybe he has respect for Chris Weidman, and he wants to drag this fight out. At 180 for a knockout for Bruno Silva, it's chalky. It's a juiced up line. Like, it's not even plus 100. So we got to parlay it. With our fingers crossed, it cashes. 23 wins for Bruno Silva, and he has 20 KOs. 14 of them in the first round, 4 knockouts in the second round, and only 1 in the third round. His last win, it was a knockout in the first against Brad Tavares. Before that, Jordan Wright knocked him out in the first round. And then he had the third round finish against Andrew Sanchez. Before that, though, he had a first round finish to Wellington Turman in his UFC debut. And like I said, 14 first round knockouts for this guy. 20 knockouts out of his 23 wins. If he loses, though, he's been submitted 7 times. Looking at Chris Weidman, and this is just a treble bet, and I'm just getting right into it again. But that's what the show's about. Give you the information. Be honest. Know what we're getting ourselves into. Each and every bet isn't a for sure cash in. So be aware. You can take a hedge bet if you like. Chris Weidman has 6 knockout wins, 4 submission wins, 5 decision wins. Former champion, but he's been knocked out 6 times. So I'm pretty confident he's going to get knocked out here again. He also lost his last 2 fights, but he has not looked as good as Bruno Silva has. I got to believe Bruno comes to bang and knocks him out, though, to be honest. 180, that's such a juiced price. You play it with 2 other guys that are pretty steamed up for the knockout finish as well. Chidi Bang Bang plus 130 and Ibo Aslan plus 100. Treble bet here for the Knockout Kings is 8x. That's incredible value. So $20, a 2-unit bet for me, will return a whopping 16.5 units. $165 on $20. Pretty confident I could go 50 on these 3 and get $415. If you got the bankroll, $100 pays back $830. The Knockout Kings are coming to bang, and they're going to be big first round finishes, I believe, as well. If you want to play them all in the first round. We could see what the odds are going to be on that. It's a props and parlay show. I'm not wasting your time if we're talking money. I mean, it's probably going to be Saturday morning before you're seeing the show. A little bit late. Get on Patreon, $5 a month, exclusive early access. Discord, I'm sorry that the props of the week are not there early for you. I'm going to do a full description, but make sure you watch the show. Get notified. If you're not suplexing the subscribe button and you're just watching without being subscribed, please and thank you, subscribe to the channel. And I'm going to do a big giveaway at 1,000 subscribers. So let your friends know. Subscribe to the Fight Fiend Forecast. He's going to give away a couple $100 here soon. He's close to 700 subs, 300 more, and he's giving away a couple $100. You can get free money out of this. You can get some free UFC cards and free picks. Absolutely free. I'm talking about each and every fight. So the people on Patreon for $5 a month come to the show and get even more information, right? They only join because they seen me on YouTube breaking these fights down. So yeah, the members on Patreon are going to be making some money for only $5 a month. And if they don't agree with my picks, they got this line movement tracker each and every fight week. So this week on the show, I gave it out for free. But I'm not showing you the fight day odds because those come out in the morning, Saturday. It might even be Saturday now if you're listening. But Platinum forecasters for $5 a month will see this line movement tracker each and every week. On fight day, it gets readjusted. It's a great tool. So there it is. You can see Wednesday's line movement. It's for you guys. I put in the work for you guys. I give you my picks because I want you guys to know what I'm doing. If you guys want to make some money with me, let's go. Money. If you don't, let me know in the comments below which fights to stay away from. It's good to have a little bit of disagreement as well. A little bit of competition, you know. I seen some comments last week from one fella. He comments a lot and he's very confident in his plays and stuff like that, but I seen some that were wrong. He's a little bit overconfident, so you can't always listen to people in the comments. People are going to try to sell you on the picks. I'm being honest. I'm selling you on some picks. Nate Landwehr, a little bit biased in him, but I'm going to be aboard the train. I'm going to look to make some money on a guy that I know will fight for my money. I think it's going to be a closer fight than 3-1 for Jamal Emmers, so we'll see how it goes. A lot of people will not agree, and chances are I could look like a fool. Nate Landwehr could get finished in the first, second, third round. Who knows? It's MMA. These are my picks, my predictions, my best bets. Whatever you guys are doing, you can let me know your forecast of the week on the next fight night on my full card prediction show. You just give me your most confident prop at plus money. You can do a little description. You don't even have to give me the odds. This week, Fatal just said Cheaty, KO, and he gave hashtag forecast of the week. The only two requirements. Put hashtag forecast of the week. Make sure it's above plus money. And then let's go cash in. I will choose one forecaster each week on the full card prediction show. Ride along with them. Make content up. Give them the shout out. But as you know, Draft Goon, she had a good forecast of the week as well. The forecast became the prelim forecast. So if I see a comment from you and I'm going to make it a prelim prop or a main card prop, I'll give you some credit. I'll give you a shout out as well because it's us against the bookies. And we're going to keep the peace in the comments. We're going to make some profit. That's what it's about. Fight Fiend Forecast is going to the top. Before you go, and before you get too excited for this fight night in Atlantic City, smash the like button and suplex the subscribe button just like Mohammed Mokaev. Money.